Good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Julie Mavity Madalena, and I am your chaplain, and I'm very glad to be with you. If you would please join me now in our opening prayer. God of 2020, it is difficult to name all that is on our hearts and minds in this moment. Most of us are a swirl of all kinds of emotions. We are glad to be together. We are worried about loved ones. We are adjusting to new realities. We don't know what the future holds. We are frustrated and impatient for justice. We are grateful, God, that you can hold it all. We ask that you calm our fears, giving us a deep, abiding sense of peace and hope in the sure knowledge that you are the God of possibilities. You can make a way out of no way, and you have gifted us with the capacities for creativity and compassion that we need so fiercely in this moment. You are also the God of resurrection, of new life. Give us the awareness to see the new life you are bringing right now, even and especially when it doesn't look like what we are expecting. God of community, as we have joined together on this campus, may the spirit of collaboration and communication and care fill us to overflowing. May we see each other and truly listen to each other across our differences. May we have faith in each other, and may we inspire the best in each other with humility, openness, gratitude, grace, and respect, guiding us always. May we trust that our connections with each other are real and strong, regardless of whether they occur across masks or technology. You can and you do transcend all barriers we humans create, even as we are grateful for the safety and accessibility they provide. Finally, God of wonder, may we live fully this year into this wild and precious life you have given us. In the name of love, we pray. Amen. And now, please let me introduce Dr. Joshua Cutney, Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, I'd like to welcome you back to campus for the beginning of a new academic year. We're very glad to see you all, new faces and returning ones, students, staff, and faculty. We're looking forward to an exciting year together, one in which we are intentional about living our mission and values and sustaining the vibrant and special place we know as Lakeland University. Lakeland's opening convocation offers us a valuable moment to honor our past, embrace our present, and anticipate our future. We honor our past with a long-standing tradition of gathering to celebrate the beginning of another school year, and by engaging a past student to share words of wisdom. In this moment, we recognize that there is a clear and vital link between the students of yesterday and the students of today. With our presidential charge, we celebrate the Lakeland we are becoming and prepare ourselves for the year ahead. We live in extraordinary times. In one sense, the challenges before you are the perennial trials of university students. Many of you have left home to make a new one with us. You're learning how things work in college and what it means to be a serious student. You're asserting an identity while actively imagining who you'll become and figure out how you will get there. You're drawing your own conclusions about the world, sorting out which ideas are your own and which ones you inherited, and trying to manage the flood of information your professors have prepared for you each week and the new questions they've inspired in the process. In many ways, the quest is an inward one to develop a sense of self that will lead you to personal and professional success and increased levels of civic engagement. At the same time, our current historical moment does not afford you the luxury of developing fully before you engage the world in serious ways. You have a greater set of obligations before you. You need to think about the safety and welfare of others every time you enter a room, select a seat, walk down the hallway, consider an invitation to hang out with friends, and go to the store. You need to learn how to learn with a Rubik's Cube of course formats: face-to-face, cohort, flex, hybrid. Many of you will vote in your first presidential election this fall. And as you decide the direction of our country, you must weigh what it will take to address persistent social problems and establish a more just society. Traditions are links to the past. They center us, provide us comfort, and bring us together. But every tradition begins somewhere with a decision to start something new, try something different, to engage the world in a new way. In the year ahead, I invite you to both honor the past and create new traditions. I encourage you to explore all the ways that you can live Lakeland's mission right now and in the future by thinking critically, communicating effectively, succeeding professionally, and leading ethical, purposeful, and fulfilling lives. Our guest today, Mr. Rodney Ellison, is a graduate who has succeeded in each one of these mission-based goals. Please join me in welcoming my esteemed colleague, Dr. April Arvin, Professor of Sports Management and Leadership and Director of Athletics, who will introduce our speaker.
Good morning. I can hear the virtual applause all around me. Thank you very much. What an incredible honor it is for me to introduce my dear friend Rodney Ellison as our 2020 Convocation Address speaker. If Rodney Ellison were to be a spirit animal, I would bet he would be a chameleon. Rodney Ellison, the fitness trainer turned HR specialist, has spent the last decade adapting to new environments and involving himself in ways he really never thought possible. After completing his bachelor's degree in exercise science at Lakeland College, Rodney joined Kohler Co in 2007 as a fitness center attendant at the Sports Core Health Club. He then became a certified fitness trainer in 2008. Rodney moved on to become a corporate security officer and spent time as a customer service agent before returning to a different type of training, this time on the learning and development team as a part of Kohler HR rotational program. In 2018, Rodney graduated from Lakeland University with his MBA and now spends his time focused on improving the strategy and content to support associate development learning programs. If you were to ask Rodney what his favorite part of this new role is, he would answer coaching people and helping them grow. And that is the Rodney Ellison that I remember as a fresh out of high school student and throughout his collegiate career here at Lakeland. Whether it be walking the hallways in all of our buildings, whether it be his classroom participation, whether it be his influence in the athletic arenas, and so much more. Rodney coached people. He helped them grow. Perhaps without even knowing it, Rodney coached me. Rodney helped me grow. As a very young professional in the coaching field, not too far into my career, It was impossible for me, and actually all who encountered Rodney, not to be influenced by his infectious personality, by his joy, his untethered spirit. Undoubtedly, Rodney left his mark on Lakeland University, Lakeland College, and all of our hearts. Some fun facts about Rodney. He is a Michigan native from Pontiac, Michigan. He's been married for 9 years and the father of 2, a beautiful girl and a beautiful boy. He is the second youngest of 6 children. Rodney was a student athlete on the Lakeland College football team from 2002 to 2006. He was a part of a couple Illini Badger Conference championships and an NCAA Division III playoff berth. He was a member of our track and field team from 2005 to 2006. And finally, something I didn't know, but I recently learned about Rodney, was that he once rode a horse into the ocean on a jungle in the Dominican Republic. If you were to ask Rodney about this experience, Rodney will proudly tell you it was like a real-life Old Spice commercial. Rodney, on behalf of our students, our faculty, our staff, Dr. Black, and all of our administration here at Lakeland University, we welcome you back to this place that we love, this place that we call home, and we thank you for being our 2020 Convocation Address speaker.
Good morning, everybody. Coach A, that's going to be real hard to follow up right there. But I want to start with saying thank you. I want to say thank you to Lakeland University, the faculty and staff, both past and present, and a special thank you to Coach A. I love you to no end. I appreciate you more than I can ever tell you. And I will forever be a super fan. A couple of other thank yous that I would like to give are to Andrea Schmidt, Brian Frink, Beth Borgen, Dr. Black. Thank you very much for providing this platform and giving me the ability to come here today. Lakeland is a place that I called home from the first day that I stepped on campus. And still to this day, that sentiment lives inside of me, almost 20 years later. I'm getting old. And to the students, I have to tell you from wherever you are sitting and watching, I hope that you are well. I hope that you are feeling wonderful. I hope that you are feeling strong and just in an overall happy state of being for where you are right now. When I got the opportunity to accept this invitation, I was overcome with this crazy amount of excitement. Like joy jumped into my body and just like took over everything. I was like, I can't even explain the feeling. It is something that is so empowering that until you actually feel it, you can't really know what it's like. And it's not because I really like to talk and they gave me a microphone. It's because I'm getting a chance to talk to you about an opportunity that you have that many people covet. It's not coming to be a freshman in college. It's not coming to an awesome university that is some place that just grabs you and will never let you go, although that is an amazing perk. You get a fresh start. You have the opportunity to wipe the slate clean of everything that you've done, be it good or bad, and start new and create new, lasting memories, new, lasting joys, new foundations for yourself and your future. Now, that opportunity is something that shouldn't be taken lightly. And I want to give you something that I wish I had when I was sitting in your place. What that is insight to some things that I found value in after the fact, when I could have used them to enhance my experience that I had already gone through. If I ask you right now, how many of you looking back on your life would go back and change something that you've done? Knowing what you know now, how many of you would go back and change it? This is the one moment that I'm glad that this room is empty. The reason I say that is because if I ask for a show of hands, some of you watching, some of you listening would be lying to me and yourself, because you would say, I would not change anything. You mean to tell me it's not anything in your life that you would look back on and say, hey, self, if you do this way instead of the way that you're going to, it will be a little bit better and be a little bit stronger result that will be in your favor. I don't know if you heard me. If you could go back and change something and make it better for yourself today, would you do it? I don't know anybody that is in their right mind that would say no to that. I wasn't always in this mindset, though. And to give you some insight, I have to give you a little bit of my story. Some of the things that Coach Arvin spoke to they're just a piece of my life. I was kind of a big deal here, though, like she mentioned. I was a student athlete. I started on the offense, and I started on the defense in positions. I was a part of multiple championships. I was a student ambassador. I was homecoming king. I worked in the campus grill, which was affectionately known as the Muskie Mart. Is that still the same name today? Is it different? I'm not sure. I haven't been around that often. I look to coming back and get it. But I was affectionately known by many circles as the pita man. I made the best pitas this side of the Milky Way. I was also a resident assistant. I developed this persona that I made that really focused my attention on living my life selfishly unselfish. It gave me more pride to make you happy than it did to focus on my own joy. Not many people know about this, and I struggled with that. I had a really hard time living up to the expectations that were set on me by everyone who saw all of the awesomeness that I had inside of me that I didn't notice that I had in myself. So the first thing that I needed to know, that I wish I had been told before I figured that moment out, is it's okay to fail. There are levels to this, though. It's okay to fail as long as you learn from those moments and you take that as an opportunity to be better for the next time, so when you face it again, Whatever opposition is in front of you, it knows that it is in for a fight, and you are not going down without a battle. It's okay to fail. I love music, and there's a song, and some of the lyrics says, I will not lose, for even in defeat, there's a valuable lesson that is learned, so it evens it out for me. If you really listen to what that says, if you take that and you plant that seed inside of your soul, I can't lose, because whatever happens today is going to make me stronger, and I can tell you that I will be better for it tomorrow. It's okay to fail. Another thing that I wish I had been told is that I need to hold myself to a higher standard. You should hold yourself to a standard higher than anybody else can hold for you. I talked about the word potential. I hate that word. I don't use the word hate lightly. And that's probably the only time that anybody that has ever talked to me will hear this word, hate. I hate potential. The word potential puts a ceiling. It puts a cap on what your expectations and your abilities are. And again, that is something that someone else puts on you. But because you hold yourself to a higher standard, you should want more for yourself than anybody on this green earth, or blue or flat or round, whatever way you look at it, can want for you. I told you that I really like music. And there's a song that's very popular right now. I'm sorry that this is probably going to be a couple minutes more than 10. But I'm sure you all know this song. It plays every hour on the hour. And a couple of the lyrics go. I say, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I say, ooh, I'm drowning in the light. When I am like this, you're the only one I trust. I'm just walking by to let you know. I can never say this on the phone. I'll never let you go this time. Now, we all know this song. If you haven't heard it, it's Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. And the song seems to be a love song. It's a story of loss, searching for that person, that someone, that something to help make them complete. But music is art. And the beauty of art is the artist gives you an interpretation. They have a vision that they want to paint for you. But the best part about that is the interpretation is also left to the audience. So I say, what if that song wasn't to somebody else? What if that song means, if the meaning of that song is the person singing to themselves? If you got up in the morning and you loved this song and you sang it while you're getting dressed and you look in the mirror and that person in the mirror is reciting those words back to you, I'm blinded by the lights. It's too much going on. I can't see what's happening. There's a lot of noise. But I can't sleep without your touch. I can't rest until I know you are there. I can't rest till I know you're here with me. I'm drowning in the light, in the night. The things that are coming, the opposition is too much. It's overwhelming. But when I get like this, you're the only one I trust. When I don't know what to do, you are the only one I can trust. I can always turn to you. Self, I can always turn to you when the noise is too loud, when the pressures are too deep, when it's too much for me. I know that I can come back to you, and you will help me get through whatever opposition I face. It's one thing to have that outlook, but you also have to have a goal. You have to know where you want to go, and you cannot get there if you do not put yourself there in your mind first. You have to condition your mind to obtain the things in the physical world that you desire most. But just having a goal isn't enough. You have to have an action plan. So what is a goal? A goal is a desired outcome. And what is an action plan? An action plan is a calculated step that allows you to take actions that are measurable, that you can monitor the progress as you get towards those goals. Now, if I want more for myself than you can ever want from me, my goals will be bigger than you can ever make from me. My action steps will be more vast and more detailed than you can ever give me, because I have a purpose that is stronger than you can ever give for me. If you don't have that outlook right now, it's okay. You're going to have moments where you fail. You're going to have moments where you don't understand how to get through. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Acknowledge those moments. Take that time to recognize where you fell short. Hold yourself to a better standard and fight like nobody has ever showed you to fight before. And I promise you, those action steps will lead you to the goals that you have the deepest and most value in. I want to leave you with one quote. Actually, two. Throughout life, we are faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities brilliantly disguised as problems. Comfort allows you to settle, be content. Opposition allows you to grow. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will take over. I want to paint a picture for you real quick, and I'm going to leave you with this. If you're sitting in the most wonderfully comfortable spot, and there's a fire right next to you, but you know what? I'm comfortable right here because it's cold this morning, and that fire is making me warm. Eventually, that fire will spread. And if that fire is in opposition to your goals, if you do not fight it, it will take over. When you're faced with that opportunity, will you sit in content? Or will you want more for yourself than anyone else can want for you? And decide that today is the day that I'm going to fight until I cannot fight anymore. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm David Black. I'd like to take credit for having been president when Rodney was here, but I can't. Rodney, what wonderful words you gave us. If everyone beginning their tenure at a university could start with those thoughts, it would be a better place for them to begin. And for those of you who are just beginning, we who work in a place like this derive meaning from the fact that graduates like Rodney bear what we call essential habits of mind and character, and bear them in a way that influences all around them, where they work, where they live, in their homes. So thank you, Rodney. And thank you guys for joining this community. It's the privilege of this office each year to say to those of you who are new to the community, on behalf of those of us who are not new to the community, that we expect three things of you. 3+, but we're going to talk about 3. And we state that expectation in the form of a charge. So on behalf of the community that's here, I charge you to, in the words of Rodney Ellison, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. What in the world does that mean? Well, it means set smart goals. One goal would be to learn something new in every class, every session that is relevant to who you are and where you live. Take care of yourself. Set a goal about what you're going to weigh, how much you're going to sleep, how little you're going to drink. Smart goals. Smart goals. Take care of yourself. That's the first charge. The second charge, equally important, is take care of your neighbor. Take care of your neighbor. What's one memorable way to honor that charge? I offer this one. Protect your neighbor's reputation. We all want to impress our new friends with some information that they might enjoy. If it reflects badly on your neighbor, keep it to yourself. The brother of Jesus, named James, said, "What a tiny thing the tongue is, but what a great fire it can start." Think about that. So the second charge, take care of your neighbor, protect her reputation at all costs. And the third charge is born out of the fact that some of us think this ground we walk across is hallowed, sacred, holy, special, common ground. It's level. Take care of it. Don't you dare throw a piece of paper down on it, or you'll see some bent old man walk behind you and pick it up. Now, saying, you may want to do that to entertain yourselves. That's better than soiling your neighbor's reputation. Take care of the place. It's a special place, but it's old. And people for a very long time have contributed to its structure and its presence and its special qualities. Take care of yourself, take care of your neighbor, take care of the place. And if you do all these things well, you can perhaps turn out like Rodney Ellison, or you can perhaps turn out like Elizabeth Randa, the president of our Student Government Association and our foundation. You'll find if you sneak over to a special corner in Chase Hall, we have a mad old scientist sequestered in a room trying to figure a way to clone Elizabeth. It would be a good thing. Elizabeth, we welcome you.
Thank you for your kind words, Dr. Black. They mean so much more than you could ever know. While it is very difficult to follow up with the wonderful, amazing speeches of those before me, I will try my best. So, as Dr. Black said, my name is Elizabeth Randa, and I am the president of Student Government Association. While I was originally voted in as vice president, I have recently taken over the title of president as Brian Brickham has stepped down to focus on his other position within Launch, Lakeland's student-run business. While this has been a very scary and new experience for me, it reminds me of basically what all of 2020 has been, full of change. 2020 has been a lot of new. There are things that we have never encountered before in our lifetimes and may never encounter again. The two things that I think are most important in this time, but also in this place, is communication and involvement. Now, these are tied very closely together. Obviously, within student government, our main goal is to be the voice for all Lakeland students and be the line of communication between students and administration. Student government hopes to grow this relationship, but we do need students. The important thing about college is that we are learning to become the future educators, the future entrepreneurs, the future career people, the future parents of the world. So, involvement is important. Knowing different facets of things and being involved in whatever you can will make you well-rounded, and it will make people like Rodney Ellison and several other graduates that we've heard speak in past years. This is especially important, as Dr. Cutney mentioned, in an election year. We are the change, and we have to acknowledge that and acknowledge that that power that we hold is greater than anything that some people will ever have in their entire lives. So, this year, I urge every single one of you to take the power that you hold as a student and as a person in general, and basically, the best way to put it is open those lines of communications and make a difference. Whether it's in your life, someone else's, make a difference, stay involved, and don't let the struggles of 2020 get you down. The quote that has helped me most throughout this difficult time, it may be a little cheesy, and it's probably one of the most well-known perseverance quotes, is, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning how to dance in the rain." I think it's especially relevant right now in a time of uncertainty, change, and fear for a lot of people. But I think it's about learning to work with that rather than against it. So, with my short little speech, happy 2020 school year, and I will pass it along to Bennett for the singing of our alma mater.
Can you tell why my heart is ever swinging with a vibrant motion, each recurring fall? Do you fathom why my soul begins a singing like a maiden answering her lover's call? A place there is that claims my fond affection, to me.